Good morning, everyone. Exposed ChosunNinja here again. It's Saturday morning. I know I've been a couple of weeks not doing any videos, but been busy. Been renovating the office here. I'm still in a work in process, or I should say a work in progress. But it's coming along. Got some nice hardwood floor in. Did some repainting. Got to put up some new doors. Anyway, video today. Now I know I said that I was going to limit my videos to videos that I thought were pertinent to things that Greg Park is doing that is extraordinarily dangerous, and not to criticize him particularly much on the stuff that really is inconsequential one way or the other. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing. Being that it's been a few weeks, this video is actually going to encompass two different things. The first one is a video that Greg did recently entitled, what is it? Hold on. Free Nintaijutsu for YouTube 14. In this video, he's demonstrating a back roll. Now, the back roll he's doing, for all intents and purposes, is not the issue. What is the issue is the fact that he's teaching people to essentially roll their head over top of their weapon. And if they're using an edged weapon, obviously there are some inherent dangers regarding that. Basically, he's got his weapon up over top of his head and he's doing a back roll over top of his weapon. This is not done in any classical martial arts school that I'm aware of, and I've studied a number of them. The reason it's not done is because it's damn dangerous. Why would you roll over top of your weapon and risk scalping yourself in the process if it's an edged weapon? There are far less dangerous ways of doing a back roll with a weapon in your hand. And my suggestion to people is, well, don't do it this way. There are other ways. Seek some guidance, some help, or from a qualified instructor in how to do that. Anyways, I'll stop talking and show you a clip from this video, and you can see what I mean.
Look here, if you fall,
so anyway, you can see here that Greg is, for one, he's using a wooden sword, probably so that he doesn't scalp himself. And two, he's rolling right over top of his sword. Like, why would anybody do that? The way it was taught to me is simply hold the sword out to the side and let the sword rotate parallel to the ground as you're doing the roll. That way you're not damaging your sword, and you've got it out of the way of yourself, so that you're not risking injuring yourself in the process. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't recommend anyone practicing rolling backward rolls with a weapon in your hand the way that Greg's showing you to do it, because particularly with a live blade, you'll end up injuring yourself. The second part of this video is regarding a recent video that was posted by, I believe her YouTube name is Kunoichi of Chosun. Her name is Janet. And it was a video footage of Greg Park teaching a class of young little kids, probably no more than about 7 or 8 years old. And it looked to be done in a school classroom where he pushed all the desks off to the side and laid down a bunch of cheap puzzle mats and set up a plastic garbage can at one end and was teaching shuriken jutsu to a bunch of young little kids, which, from my perspective, is extremely irresponsible to start with. Those kids were far too young to be teaching how to throw blades, first of all. And secondly of all, he was teaching them to throw blades without looking at what they were throwing at. And that just boggles my mind that somebody would be so, I don't know what to call it, to think that they could teach these young kids something like that. That just, I don't understand that at all. I personally do not teach shuriken jutsu. Well, first of all, I don't teach ninpo taijutsu to anyone under the age of 14, simply because I feel that it's too dangerous of an art to be teaching to somebody who's not responsible enough to use it properly. Previously, I didn't teach it to anybody under 17, but the younger ones of 14 and up, I deliver a modified training program to them anyway. But that's neither here nor there. If I chose to teach my young 5 to 8-year-old child ninjutsu, then that's my choice, and I take full responsibility for it. But I sure as hell would not be teaching an art like this to somebody else's child, knowing the inherent dangers of it. And that's, to me, is completely irresponsible. Anyway, here shows a clip of this class that he's teaching.
For ninjas to do shuriken jutsu, it's really important that you guys do it with your eyes closed. Why? You have to handicap yourself with darkness. You understand? All the other guys who are sitting there with their eyes open in good form, and you know what? Ninjutsu isn't really that way. It's about feeling, having the abilities to perform in the dark, or with handicaps, because ninjas are problem solvers. I'll look at you, and I'll throw it, and hit the target. I'll actually look at you, and then be able to hit the target. Why? Because I trust my body's ability. Sometimes your body will perform a lot better than your head. Okay? And a ninja understands this. Better than anybody else. Okay? Now try it. Now everybody.
Now you can see here, I mean, more than likely Greg is using either a rubber or plastic shuriken. So that's not my issue here. Had he been using a metal one, yeah, I would have a little bit more, I'd be a little bit more of an issue here, but the point is, he throws this shuriken, whatever it's made out of, it bounces off this rubber garbage can and almost hits a little girl in the face. Now, regardless of what this thing is made out of, if it had hit her in the eye, it could have caused some serious injury to this kid. Like, all these kids are just sitting alongside these mats. There's no safety precautions or safety guard put up to prevent this kind of thing from happening. So clearly Greg has no concern for the safety of these kids, and seems to nonchalantly just throw these things around without any regard for where they may be rebounding off and hitting somebody. I'm sure if the parents of these kids knew what was going on in this class, free or not, they would not be very appreciative of what this person, Greg Park, was teaching their kids. Because this is, to me, is just a Pandora's box waiting to be opened. Because these kids are going to want to go home and they're going to want to make their own throwing stars and start chucking them around without any regard for where it is that they're throwing them or who might be injured in the process. This is totally irresponsible. And on top of that, he starts making comments, you know, indirectly related to his critics. And, you know, it's like, you know, you see these people throwing stars with their eyes open and looking at it. That you don't do it that way. You got to trust your body and trust your senses, and you can throw at things without looking. Well, here it is in a classroom full of impressionable little minds, inadvertently or in one way or another, trying to promote hatred towards his critics. Well, Greg, these kids probably don't even aren't even aware that your critics exist, nor do they care. So why are you trying to put these ideas into these little kids' heads? If you want to teach them martial arts, that's one thing. But keep your personal hatreds towards us and the politics around that out of it. That's not what they're there for. They're there to learn martial arts. They're not there to learn how to hate us. Not very Christian, if you ask me. At any rate, that's all I wanted to talk about today. These kinds of things really, when children particularly are put in unnecessary danger, I get really upset about that. And this man should not be teaching martial arts. He should not be teaching children. As far as I'm concerned, he should be locked up, because a lot of what he does is, in my opinion, criminal. In most places, I don't know about in LA because I don't live there, but in a lot of places that I'm aware of, it's illegal to possess shuriken. So why are you teaching these kids to throw things around that they're not even legally entitled to possess? It just it makes no sense. It's totally irresponsible, Greg. You know, give your head a shake and stop thinking and acting with your ego, and start thinking realistically about what you're doing and how it impacts on other people. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Have a good Saturday. Take care.